Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Monday morning to you all. Hope you guys are feeling well, doing well out there, and having yourselves a great start to your work week. I got you an update weather-wise on what's going to happen specifically for today. I'm expecting a pretty active weather day, severe weather chances for Texas and surrounding states. We're going to break that down, maybe a little bit of a flooding risk for areas a little further north of Texas. So we're just going to try to dive into this and talk about what we do know and try to get as close as possible as the tornado threat has increased since last night's video. I'm expecting there to be a real risk of a tornado sometime later this evening. I think the threat this afternoon won't be so much for a tornado, but more so damaging winds. But I think another piece of energy will eject itself across areas of Texas and to promote a little bit more of a tornado threat later this evening, maybe as the sun is going down, certainly a nocturnal threat. So that's never good, but I'm not expecting a tornado outbreak, but we need to talk about what we do know, and we'll break that down in this video. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Really appreciate the support, guys. I really do, especially in the slow times. It means the world. Just so thank you all for following along and supporting me in my passion. If you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. So let's get rolling this morning. Water vapor loop shows it pretty well. You got a lot of showers. Some areas of rain is kind of heavy, but more so just light to moderate rain in areas of Oklahoma, Texas, even Kansas this morning, as basically this slow-moving cold front is kind of draping across areas of the Rockies and eastern and central U.S. And the idea is that the pieces of energy is going to continue to eject across the middle of the country. And then obviously as the trough continues, the cold front continues to move progressively more east, then these pieces of energy will be moving, shooting across areas further east. So, these pieces of energy are moving across the south central U.S. now, but then they will be moving across areas like Arkansas, Missouri tomorrow, as basically what's steering this begins to shift, which is the cold front further east. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I didn't jumble up my words too much with that. But so the idea today is potentially two waves of strong to severe storms will develop this afternoon and then this evening. But we'll continue to watch this, but you can see the high water content in this area, and then dew points will rise into the 60s and 70s later today for Texas, areas of Texas, not all of Texas, and that will actually create more of a substantial environment for tornadoes. So we'll watch for this. Slight risk for a pretty large area. This includes Corpus Christi, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth area, Shreveport a little bit later tonight. And, this is really driven off the damaging wind threat, but a tornado threat has increased. There's a 5% risk of a tornado in 25 miles in any given location in this brown area right here in southeast Texas, guys. So this has increased. Yesterday it was just a 2% chance. I thought that it would certainly increase for tomorrow, and it did. There's a 5% risk of a tornado for tomorrow, but it has increased for today too. Damaging winds will be a threat. There will be a 15% risk of damaging winds occurring in this entire slight region that I just showed you. That is winds pushing 50 knots or higher. Think of that as 55 to 60 miles per hour when you compare the knots to miles per hour. But damaging winds, I still think will be the biggest threat. There will be a little bit of a hail threat, but the dynamics today really don't support a big hail threat. Moving forward, we'll look at the excessive rainfall outlook a little bit further north of the severe weather threat, where you'll just have these continuous short waves, these surface lows that ride over this area. You're going to have waves of moisture that continue for areas of eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, and then southwestern areas of Missouri could see a risk of flooding. Excessive rainfall outlook shows a slight risk in this region. That is at least a 15% chance of flash flood guidance being met. So let's go on and focus on Texas first. We'll break down Texas. Normally we take a look at the southeast, northeast, south central U.S., and then north central U.S. We're going to talk about Texas first because that's the main topic in this video. So this morning with what's going on, this is actually what it looks like real time. This is Dallas, Oklahoma City, and surrounding regions. There's already heavy rain falling in certain areas. This will continue. But we'll watch this area a little bit later today, where basically this morning convection clears, and you need to watch this area later this afternoon as the atmosphere recovers. And we can get some daytime heating. Humidity begins to rise. Those dew points rise into the 60s, in some cases 70s. So we'll stop this right around 11 a.m. You guys time out here in Oklahoma and Texas Central Time. And then you already have a line of storms developing. So, you look here, Dallas-Fort Worth area right into here. You got this line of storms developing to your west. These will continue to develop, move through the area, I would say sometime around anywhere from 3 to 6 p.m., give or take an hour. And these will move through. A damaging wind threat will be there, potential for a severe thunderstorm warning to develop. But you can already see another piece of energy developing behind this system. Very dynamic system, as you already see snow flying in the higher elevations of New Mexico. This will continue. There will already be a tornado threat with the tail end of this line down here in areas deeper into Texas, where basically your thermodynamics are definitely higher. Higher temperatures, higher humidity. The CAPE values are a little bit higher. Think of CAPE as storm fuel. Basically, the available energy for these storms to take advantage of is certainly higher in this area just due to higher dew points. Higher dew points normally and temperatures normally allow for higher CAPE values. So that'll be the case down here. So you got to watch for this broken line. This is around, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Texas time out here this afternoon, this evening. Watch for this little broken line. This is well south of Dallas-Fort Worth. And you need to watch these cells here in Texas. They will continue. And, they could produce a tornado. We're getting into a nocturnal threat at this point. And then another line develops sometime in the middle of the night tonight. And this will actually be the line right here that is going to promote some severe weather for Shreveport, probably later tonight. I'm talking about the wee hours in the morning. And this line will be the threatening scenario for Mississippi and Alabama tomorrow, the one that we really need to watch for you folks. But the ARRR model continues to be much quicker with the evolution of this compared to the NAM. But we'll talk about this this evening. Dew points, as you can tell, this is around early this afternoon. Dew points rising right here into the 60s and 70s. So the environment is certainly there. As far as that moist air you need for severe weather, it's certainly going to be there in basically central to eastern Texas today. But where you get dew points in the low 70s, when you start to see that, that's when you really have a higher tornado threat. Dew points in the 50s and 60s, it's tough to get. But with those higher dew points, that means higher CAPE levels, and that means a higher tornado threat. So please watch out if you're in east central Texas, southeast Texas, and just eastern Texas as a whole needs to be careful, especially later this evening. You see a little bit of a low-level jet into this region. Come on, get in motion for me. Here we go. And it's departing as this is kind of developing, but you still got a 30, 40 knot low-level jet and not just enough of a spin to the atmosphere that you need. You don't need anything too crazy, but you'll have a little bit of an overlapping of thermodynamics and kinematics in this region. And that means you're going to have an area right here that's going to support a heightened area of severe weather. Rainfall today will be the highest in Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. Areas of southwest Missouri, southeast areas of Kansas, where between now and tomorrow morning as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain can fall in this region. So please, don't totally neglect the flooding threat. It will certainly be there in this region today. We'll break it down region to region going forward here. Pretty quiet day in the southeast. Deep south, pretty quiet. Tomorrow will be your big weather day, but really not a whole lot going on. Outside of what I just discussed with this severe weather threat, really nothing. Some showers in the Delmarva area. We'll talk about that here. Waking up to some showers already going on southern New England, New Jersey, New York State. And we'll have to watch for more showers, even some storms. There's actually a risk for thunderstorms, maybe a little small severe risk of thunderstorms today. But really it's just a general risk. But we will watch for maybe a stronger storm or two up here. Of course, the dynamics needed for severe weather certainly aren't there. But maybe a rumble of thunder and just an area of heavy rain could work itself into areas of Connecticut, certainly Rhode Island, and eastern and southeastern areas en masse sometime this afternoon. And, just some more rain. You've already been seeing rain yesterday. A little bit more rain today is certainly likely. North central U.S., what do you guys look like today? The surface low will move into Canada, and then some backside snow will pivot. Sorry, I got some hiccups here. Into the Dakotas a little bit later this afternoon, so you guys could see a little bit of snow, especially in the western Dakotas, and then maybe some snow could drift all the way into far areas of northwestern Nebraska too. But expect a little bit of a wave of some snow for areas of the Dakotas a little bit later this afternoon. Then it will diminish. And then to the afternoon, evening hours, you're going to have a wave of showers and heavy rain, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Certainly a rumble of thunder is certainly possible in areas of Wisconsin, areas of Iowa. Then you're getting into the evening hours, and then just kind of diminishes just some light to moderate rain all the way into the UP of Michigan throughout the evening hours and afternoon to evening into the overnight hours for areas of Wisconsin, UP of Michigan, Illinois is certainly looking likely. So temperatures today, a nice day in the southeast. It's quite chilly this morning, 70s for highs, more so 80s for areas in the western deep south. Arkansas will get into the 80s, 70s, upper 70s in cases for the mid-south and the Ohio Valley, and just much more chilly in areas of New England where you have more cloud cover, just some rain, highs only in the 50s. In fact, the further northwest and west you get, the warmer it gets. For example, southeast areas in New York State will be in the 50s, but areas bordering the Great Lakes in New York State certainly could reach 70 degrees today. So mid-Atlantic 70s, maybe some 60s, but then you can see where the trough is working its way through. When you get behind the trough, you get influenced with some rain, only 50s for highs, and much colder completely behind the cold front. So tomorrow, you have a slight risk of severe weather occurring. We'll talk more on this tonight. We have to watch this threat. Definitely watch it in this threat, but the big deal is happening today. That's what we really need to focus in on. But this evening, we'll focus in on this. But certainly be careful in Texas today. The tropics is a weird topic, guys. You got two areas to watch. Really, I don't think this is going to do anything. This could do something, but I don't think it's going to bother anybody. But the GFS, even the Canadian, continues to like something developing in the Caribbean. Now, please be careful what you watch out there, guys. I saw one. I'm not going to name names. I'm really not. I'm just not going to do it. But it kind of irritated me when I saw it this morning on Twitter. There's a couple of weather accounts, really just one that I've seen. That's really the only one I can vouch for that, just the thumbnails is a little bit ridiculous, saying major hurricane and with a big old hurricane icon like the size of freaking Texas over here. That's just not necessary. It's really not. It's really hyping things up. But I'm going to talk about this a little bit tonight and talk about the chance for some tropical activity in areas of the Caribbean a little bit later into the month, into early November, maybe a last gasp of hurricane season. But it's nothing to be concerned about. But if certainly you're in the Caribbean, do not let your guard down yet. I'll just leave it at that. But just be careful what you watch and what you see. Some people just, in the process of doing YouTube, get kind of lost in everything. That's why a lot of times you don't see weather YouTubers on Twitter or Facebook. And I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I always keep it real with you guys. Always. A lot of times you don't see the people who do weather on YouTube on social media. And the reason is because the people on Twitter and Facebook normally get called out if you put hype thumbnails up or if you're hyping things up. You get called out by the weather community, and rightfully so. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit too much, but sometimes it's a respect thing. Hey man, watch what you post. But some people just don't care, and they just kind of do it for the clicks, and have pretty much lost the idea of keeping things accurate and a healthy level of awareness, I guess you can put it. So, but anyways, I'm done with that. You guys have a blessed Monday. I'll be with you guys this evening. God bless all y'all and have a great day.